When I first started going to the gym, I hated the way I looked. I hated the way I looked. I hated the way I felt. I hated the way I looked so much that I remember back in high school. Well, that's really when I first started going to the gym. But I used to legit go in the bathroom and look in the mirror and be like, what the fuck, bro? I'm like a fat ass. And like, I just like hated the way I looked. Like, completely hated the way I looked. I was always insecure. I took other people's opinions of me like super seriously. And that's what got me started in the gym. And when I started in the gym, I struggled with inconsistency. I would go for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, but then fall off. And I would just rely on motivation, and it got me nowhere. And I did that for like a whole year of just being inconsistent and just looking back at that entire year thinking like, what the fuck? And I would feel even worse because I know if I just stuck with it, how much more progress I could have made. But after like a year of doing that, I finally got consistent and I became obsessed with the gym. And at that point, I was going like 6 days per week. I was in the gym pretty much every day for like 3 hours, going hard, doing 100 fucking sets. And, I remember doing that for like a couple years. And I'd look back, like the first year I made crazy progress. Second year made pretty good progress. But like after doing that for a couple years of just spending hours in the gym, being there for like 6 days on end and just doing way too much, I'd look back at like the year of progress and be like, damn, did I even make progress? Like, I'm going to the gym consistently and I'm not even like seeing crazy progress anymore. Like, it must be just like my genetics. And I remember thinking like other people are seeing better progress than me and they're damn well not going harder than me. It must be my genetics, or building muscle must be hard. Maybe they went to the gym longer than I have, but I highly doubt it. And I remember thinking like that, so I'd continue doing that same thing for a couple more years where I'm going hard, going consistent, going like spending so much time. I was so consumed with the gym. But yet, year after year, I'd look back and I'd be like, wow, I barely made progress. And that would make me feel like shit. But I wouldn't change anything. I'd still go, but I dreaded going to the gym because I'm like, why am I going to the gym if I'm barely seeing progress? It was so boring. After the first couple years, it got boring because I've barely seen progress. But that's when I found the low volume approach. Keep in mind, I was always a nerd. I'm always researching what's the best thing, optimal. I'm very science-based. I'm not your typical bro lifter. I do everything science-based. But I made a switch over to lower volume, and I learned to prioritize progressive overload, lower volume, not worrying so much about a pump, longer rest breaks, no intensifiers, and just prioritizing recovery and progressing each week, as opposed to doing what I was doing before, where I was just going, hammering the weights, getting a crazy pump, eating food, eating my protein, but that didn't get me far. But when I made this switch, after years of consistently going to the gym, my progress skyrocketed. And as someone has been going for like 4 years at this point, my progress took off. And it's still taking off. My progress is still going up because I know how to program. I know how to program the amount of sets that I can recover from. I know how hard I should push myself. I know when to leave the gym. I know when to take rest days. I know what to eat on certain days. I know what to eat on rest days. I know what to eat before my lifts, after my lift. I'm just prioritizing recovery. And as soon as you do that, your progress is going to skyrocket too. So if you get, I guess the takeaway from this video, if you're going to the gym for a couple years, right? And you're going hard and your goal is to build a better physique, not just go and talk to people and socialize at the gym, and you seriously want to build your physique, then you need to look back at your last years of progress. And if you really barely see change, don't think it's your genetics, and don't think that building muscle is just super slow and that you just have to wait it out and continue doing what you're doing. You need to change things up. If you're not seeing progress on a weekly basis as far in terms of getting stronger and progressing your lifts, then I promise you, you're definitely not going to build muscle. And if you look back months ago and you're moving the same weight, then you need to change your programming. There's something you're doing wrong. Don't continue doing what you're doing. One, if you're not enjoying yourself, but two, if the progress is not good and if you're just wasting your time in the gym. Nobody likes wasting the time. I don't like wasting my time. We know gym takes a lot of effort on you. The last thing you want to do is go hard and look at someone else and say like, damn, they have a fucking better physique than me. Not that you should judge your physique to others, but it's like, you understand, like if you're putting in the work, like, and you're looking back at your progress and it's barely any change, like, that sucks. Like, that's such a shitty feeling, and I had that feeling of just being like, damn, I wasted so much time. And once I made that switch over to just prioritizing recovery like you should, things will change. You need to switch things up if things aren't going the way they should be. If you're not making progress quick, switch things up. Don't continue to do what you're doing. I wasted about 3 years of progress doing that. I wasted my time. Bottom line now is I went from an insecure kid to caring so much about other people's opinions, to never posting on social media, to not giving a fuck about anything. I'll post anything, and I'm going to continue to post everything online. Everything I know, because I don't care. And how do I not care? How do I feel confident? Because of the gym. So if you haven't gone to the gym and you're thinking about it and you're struggling with inconsistency, I'm going to tell you, you could do what I did for my first year and go for 3 weeks, fall off, and continue that and see barely any progress for a whole year and waste your time. Or you could just go fucking all in on something and see the best results of your life and build the confidence, build the discipline. So that's all I have for this video. Bottom line, change your shit up. If you're doing something and it's not working, or if you're not enjoying yourself, and if you're not seeing the progress that you know you should be, you know the work that you put in, okay? If you're eating clean and you're going hard and you're barely seeing results, it's not your genetics. It's probably your whole programming, and there's probably a lot of shit that you're doing wrong that you don't even know. Start with ChatGPT, but you need to change something. And if you haven't started and you're someone that struggles with confidence and building discipline, then you need to get the fuck in the gym, because if you wait to the new year or you wait till Monday, that's not going to get you anywhere. You have to think, if I just stick things out for 6 months, how happy am I going to feel? As opposed to being inconsistent for 6 months and knowing what you could have been. Come on, man. Be consistent, go hard, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Next video is going to be a leg day video on how to build big legs. Nobody wants chicken legs, all right? So stay tuned for that. I'll see you in the next one. Damn, my lips are chapped as hell. It's all right. Peace.